Hi everyone. So today I am with my friend, and one of the things we were talking about was about friendship as a whole, and about what friendship means to us, and what when we say, "Oh, that's my friend," what does it actually mean? There are people who have a lot of friends. There are people who have a few friends. Now, I'm not sure when they use the word, people may use it differently. When somebody says, I have a lot of friends, it could be just a lot of people they know, as opposed to somebody else who says, well, I have a few friends, but those few friends would be very dear and people they've known for a long time. And for me, a true friend is somebody whom, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but it's actually somebody I don't actually spend too much energy on sustaining that friendship. Um, it's as if it's like water, it just flows, it has its own natural energy. Um, it doesn't matter whether it's somebody I haven't seen for a long time. Even when we didn't even have cell phones, and if you are in different places, you may not even be talking to somebody. But whenever you do meet up with them, it is as if nothing has changed in a good way. It is as if the connection is permanent. It is something that never gets broken. And that doesn't mean in between you may have conflicts, you don't, of course, agree on everything. But it is just that the soul of it is that this is something where you are not expending energy that you should be using in sustaining it. Maybe I'm not saying it exactly right. It's just that you don't feel drained. That's kind of what. There are some friendships that sometimes you feel drained in having to try to maintain those. The best friendships are those that actually give you positive energy. They are the places where you go and you vent and you know nobody's judging you. You know that it's a place where you can be yourself.
But is it something that you always felt it this way? Because I will tell you that from you and I have known each other for 40 plus years. So for me, understanding or coming to that definition of friendship, which today I agree with it, has taken a long time. When I was younger, a friendship for me meant a lot more spending time together, doing things together. So if you talking to each other every day, and if you were not doing it, you were not a true close friend. And I'm somebody who had very few friends, but I've had friends for decades. It's not easy for me to make a friend, but once I make friend, it is very hard for us me to lose them as part of it. I was telling you the other time that the friends can be, or people in your life, or friends in your life can be of three different types. Annuals, that you just have good time with and you remain friends for a while and they go away. Perennials, that people who you connect from time to time, but they have been always there. And those are the ones where you have to water, you have to give uh, um, tending to. And then there are evergreens, where who are they just there. You really, once they're planted, there's nothing else you need to do for those plants. They're there for you forever. And I think those kind of friendship, the one that fortunately you and I share, are like love. They're they're not something that you choose to be. They are happening. It's like when two people who love each other meet and then they stay together. The same way, two friends, friendship like ours, when we connect, it's hard to disconnect.
Yeah. I mean, Nusrat and I can talk forever. And that was one of the reasons that we actually kind of started these podcasts, because often it would be, what do you talk about? And we talk about
Nothing.
And I mean, sometimes we talk about something, and sometimes something is going on, and I may need to vent, she may need to vent, I may need to, sort of brainstorm something with her, or she does that with me. But the part that never changes is that I never feel drained. I never feel I'm worried about, we haven't talked for some time, or Nutan might call me and I don't know whether I can get back to her today or tomorrow. I mean, if something important, sure, she's going to call me again. But there's no, like I would say, there is no worrying about how are you sustaining this. And especially if you haven't. I mean, there was a time we were away in another country for a couple of years. And maybe we made one or two phone calls. Didn't really see each other much. And yet, when we got back together, it was, you just back to wherever you were. And that to me is true friendship. And if you're asking me, for me, the one qualifying factor is the ease and the comfort that I get with, I'm not even going to say spending time with the person, because sometimes it's not spending time, but the ease and comfort of that relationship.
I think, like love, a true friend or friendship is the people that accept you just as you are.
Yeah.
You never have to change for them. And you know that other than you, I also have another friend. You and I have a lot of things in common.
Mm-hmm.
That other friend, who've been friends for 45 years as well, we're not that similar. We don't have common interest. We don't have even this, we are not in the same profession. And yet the friendship is through a connection that has sustained us for 45 plus years. And we don't even meet as often as you and I do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether I would ever even travel with her, because our traveling patterns are different.
Mm-hmm.
Yet she's as dear to me as any family member. So for the 2 cents of one, what would you say if we want to end this in terms of what should our listener get out of this in terms of friendship?
I think if you have a true friend, keep them close to you. I mean, you're very lucky. Not everybody has a friend. I'm not talking about a relative or something else, but if you have a friend who is what this definition of friendship is, where it is a what I would say doesn't drain you, and instead you get something positive out of it, then treasure that friend.
But also don't discount those friends who you can have fun with. Yes, you cannot always cry with them, but laughter is as important. So keep those friends who you can go out to dinner with. You can just hang out and talk about superficial things. So it's like, yes, you need protein, but sometimes you also need ice cream and candy. So keep those who bring you joy.
But, I think we talked about this earlier, but in terms of social connections, especially as you're getting older, is so important. In fact, there was some study that said that people who are lonely, in terms of the detrimental effects on their physical health, it's as bad as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. So the other 2 cents, 1 cent, whatever it is, sometimes you have to create these social connections that even if it is not what you would call,
a true friend.
A true friend, you still, and it may be the social connection just may even be going out and talking to the guy in the grocery store or somebody on the street, or, saying hello. But that connection really does help your physical health.
So you need your annuals, you need your perennials, and you're lucky if you have evergreens. Bye-bye.
Bye.